of the chicanes on the Mulsanne straight. It's Capello in front of Herbert, followed by the Dome and followed by all the Audis in line behind. Always tense, difficult moments at the beginning of the Le Mans 24-hour race. Everybody wants to race, everybody wants to sprint. The team manager's keen to make sure that they rapidly get on to the race pace, which has been dictated after long strategic sessions and planning. The prototypes immediately breaking away from the rest of the field. Behind the Audis, you can see the Riley and Scott, the Peynaud's and the Courages. 3 Courages this year, 2 from Pescarolo's team with the Peugeot engine and 1 with the Judd engine, actually from the Courage factory itself. So it's Dindo Capello in the lead from Johnny Herbert. Dindo wanted pole very badly this year, had it for the last 2 years, but in race results terms, when driving for the Audi Works team, has never won. That's Jan Magnussen in the first of the Audis there, the Audi Team Go Japan car, very keen indeed not to be held up by Lammers, to allow himself to get back and try and chase the Bentleys in the early stage. The feeling among the Audi drivers is that they have to press Bentley and hope for Bentley to make either an error or to show some form of mechanical frailty. But they're not going to do it if they can't get past Lammers, and they have not yet. In line astern there, being chased by the hard-driving Doossens in the Riley and Scott black car there. An enormous crowd here at Le Mans, as always, watching enthralled the opening stages of the 2003 Le Mans. It's estimated the crowd is over 250,000, and there's a huge British support for these cars, the dark green Bentleys. And here's Oliver Gavin in number 50 Chevrolet Corvette in the pits very early on, not the start, the Works Corvette team, winners here in their GTS class for the last 2 years, and now he stalls pulling away after what's clearly been an early problem. One of the great battles of the race is expected to be between the GTS Ferraris and Corvettes. So the Audi pursuit gets underway. Frank Biela, 3-time winner, in the Audi UK car, which he'll be sharing with Mika Salo and Perry McCarthy. And this is the unusual rear end of the Pagani Zonda with its Mercedes V12 engine. They've had a troubled practice and immediately a troubled race. The untroubled number 53 Corvette is leading the surprise in this class. Behind the 2 ProDrive Ferraris is a 3rd ProDrive built car being run by Luc Alphand Adventures, the famous French downhill skier, being assisted in the early stages of the race by Jérôme Policand, an extremely quick professional driver, but whether his teammates can keep up the pace remains to be seen. Not as quick as had been expected, nor as all the budget indications and the testing had seemed to show, the Pescarolo Courages setting their own pace in the early stages. And a quick regular stop for Canadian Scott Maxwell in the number 12 Peynaud's, while Jan Magnussen in the Japanese-entered Audi presses on. And there's the Porsche GT class, in line astern, and a quick start also by Lucas Luhr, who's leading that class by just a few hundred yards. The Bentley's very much in among the back markers already. Magnussen driving very hard and lapping very quickly, but the gap is already out at 30 seconds to the second Bentley. Oh, and an early spin there for one of the TVRs. The number 92 car there. That's the car driven by Kane, Jordan and Sugden, as Jan Lammers pulls off to his second stint after a rapid pit stop. And here we do see what we were expecting to see, which is the Velox ProDrive Ferraris against the Works Corvettes. But of course that number 50 car has already lost time, as we saw earlier on with its early problems. These 2 cars really are quite evenly matched, but in straight line speed, the Ferraris had it. Last year, their first entry, they did break down and the Corvettes won. There's some expectation of greater reliability this year, as Jan Magnussen storms past them and past the Dutch-entered Spiker with its BMW engine. Capello has now pulled out more than a few hundred metres on Johnny Herbert and is driving beautifully. He's just got to look out for the traffic, and for exactly that sort of reason, that's the second TVR. Either went off by himself or was he pushed, and there's damage also to the Spiker. We don't think they were involved. The Spiker's now lost its wheel altogether, right there at the entry to the pit lane. All sorts of dramas for the GT class runners. At the end of 1 hour, the 2 Bentleys lead the 3 Audis, the 2 Doane Judds and the Riley and Scott. With the Corvette, let's hear what happened to Oliver Gavin.
Coming down the Mulsanne straight for the first time, the car started to lose power, and after two stops in the pit box here, we found out that it was a loose throttle cable. So we got that fixed, got the car back out. Unfortunately, we'd lost 2 laps, but it's still such a long way to go.
It's always a long way to go at Le Mans, but the truth is that in a battle as close as that GTS Class 1, that early problem could be a very real issue for the Corvette team. Some oil down early on, brave marshals out there right in the middle of the track. They certainly earned their weekend enjoyment at Le Mans. While Capello and Herbert now closed right up again past the 675 Reynard with the Volkswagen engine. The Audis battling their way through the 675 class cars. There, that's JJ Lehto in the champion car, nipping past the yellow Pilbeam. And a problem here, a problem for Goossens. That's a shame. They had a very strong start. What happened here? Yeah, he locked a brake on the way in. Oh, he may have locked a brake because he already had a puncture there on the left rear. Yes, he does already have a puncture on the left rear. Very lucky to miss the barrier on the approach there to Indianapolis. And now he's got to try and get that car back to the pits. It's a long way from here. We're only halfway around the track. Look at the damage to that rear tyre. That is going to do just what it has done. Shred the rear bodywork, electrical problems, all sorts of problems. And a stop for the number 8 Bentley. This is not a routine stop. Something's come out of the inside of the car. A piece of material has just been thrown out of the car. No fuel, no tyres, restart, check headlights, and go. Further problems here. That's the second of the 2 Doane Judds, currently being driven by young Christian Gomendi, the very rapid French Formula 3 driver. And in a slightly less hectic moment, the number 75 Perspective racing car being shared by Michel Neugarten, Nigel Smith and Ian Khan. The number 88 Ferrari leads the class, a position built up by Peter Cox.
I feel a lot better than I look, but because it's hot, I mean, yes, you sweat a lot, but I don't feel drained in the end of the day. I mean, we took it very easy. I must say the car is working beautifully. We don't need to win this race in the first 2 hours, although maybe it seems like, but just take a steady pace and try to be there tomorrow afternoon.
And here really is drama. This is the Audi UK car, Frank Biela at the wheel, winner the last 3 years, and the marshals are pushing the car. There's clearly some astonishment in their number 10 pit. Everyone at the back looking at the monitors, trying to work out what's going on. They look as though they were ready for a pit stop. They got the tyres out. It couldn't be, could it, thought everyone, that they'd simply run out of fuel. Frank there re-plugging himself in order to talk to his pits. And at the same time, the NASA Max Reynard has got a problem and they're pushed out of the way. After 2 hours then, the story for Audi UK is all too clear. It's now 2 Bentleys from 2 Audis and the third car has gone. There is the Audi UK car being pushed back ironically beneath a British and a German flag, but that car must be out of fuel. Consternation at Audi UK's pit and an awful sinking feeling for the other drivers. Here's Perry McCarthy fearing, I suspect, the worst. And Mika Salo packing his bags.
It's a terrible shame. Terrible. I mean, everybody's a bit down, as you can imagine. But, you know, we have to remember one thing. Mistakes happen. I don't know why